Russia's trying to improve its image in Central and Eastern Europe and the Western Balkans as a strong country with a strong leader that can do effective things against the pandemic, stands up for traditional family values, the Orthodox Church, Christian civilization, so on and so on. But that's not really the real point. What Russia is much more interested in doing is depicting the West as a failure, America as a bully, as the economic disadvantage of globalization, ethnic tensions, the hypocrisy and incompetence of people in power. And these are powerful messages because to some extent they're true. We did have a financial crisis. We did have failed wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. We have had a bad response to the pandemic, and disinformation campaigns work best when they have an element of truth. And so Russia works on that, and it exploits ethnic, religious, linguistic, demographic, social, cultural, any kind of differences that they can find, because the central aim for Russia is divide and rule. And the reason for that is that Russia, faced with a united West, feels pretty scared. The West is 1 billion people, 40 trillion GDP. Russia's 140 million people and a 1.3 trillion GDP. So Russia's in a position of disadvantage if NATO and the EU and Western countries generally stick together. But in any bilateral tussle, conflict of wills and means, then Russia is in a much stronger position. It's bigger than any other European country in terms of population. It's the biggest country in the world in terms of landmass, and it's quite big in terms of economy. It's the size of Italy. And so what Russia wants is a world where big countries do the deals that they can and small countries accept the deals that they must. And a central part of that is attacking the West where it's weakest, which is in its self-belief and its values, and putting across a little bit that Russia is a good country, but much more important that the West is a failure.